Y'all, I was like, holy initiative, holy commitment. How cool is that? And that clearly stuck with me all these years. That was a really exceptional story where someone, like, they didn't just tell me they were excited about the role, they showed me. Welcome to another episode of After the Cert, the career podcast for product managers who've collected all the certifications and taken all the courses and still feel stuck in their product career. I'm your host, Jess Sherlock, product management career coach. I know firsthand what it feels like to be overwhelmed, lonely, and stuck in your product career. And I'm on a mission to help you feel confident and empowered to take the lead in your product career and achieve your unique career goals. You can count on me for practical and actionable advice, plus relatable stories from PMs navigating the messy middle of their career. And remember, if you're feeling stuck with your product management job search, worried about making a great impression during your first 90 days in a new product job, or you want to position yourself for a promotion at work, I'm here to help. You can check out my coaching programs at jesssherlock.com/apply and book time on my calendar so we can chat. Let's get into it. I want to tell you a story about a candidate that I had who went the extra mile. And I still remember this situation so clearly because it was such a good example of someone taking massive initiative during an interview process. And clearly, here I am talking about it. It has left an impression on me all these years. So I guess think of this as a bonus tip, a tip that you can apply, or I would encourage you to apply, especially in a market like this one where hiring managers and recruiters have lots of candidates to choose from. And so if you see an opportunity to go the extra mile, or if this inspires you with some idea to go the extra mile, I would encourage you to do it, especially if it is a job that you think you're a really good fit for. So here's the story. Many years ago, I was the director of product and I was hiring an additional product manager onto the team. And at this point in time, it was an enterprise product. So what I mean by that is the types of customers that would use our product were giant brands. So think companies like Levi's Jeans or Danone, the parent company that owns Danone yogurt brands, or even Pepsi or Coke, right? Large brands like that would use the platform. Their employees would use the platform to gather data, and then VPs and executives at the company would look at the data in the system. Point being, this is not a product that you're going to be using, on your phone at home on a Tuesday night while you're like watching Netflix. This is not by any stretch of the imagination a B2C product. It's also the type of product where at the time you could go to the App Store and download our mobile app, but you would not be able to get past the sign-in screen. So unfortunately, when I was doing interviews, a lot of candidates would be really curious about how the product actually worked and looked because you couldn't find much. I mean, I guess you could go to our help center on our website, maybe see some screenshots and stuff, but it wasn't the type of product where you could really like get in there and do a demo and use it and be somewhat familiar so that when you have the interview, you kind of speak the language, which, side note, I do recommend that. If you can ever get in and do a demo account, definitely do. Anyways, in this case, that was not something that folks could do with our product. And so it was very common for me to get questions when I would do a hiring manager screen interview with folks where they might ask me a few questions about like, well, what does the product actually do? I saw it in the App Store, but I can't log in. So imagine my surprise when I go into an interview and I start chatting with this individual and they start telling me some of the things that they noticed in the product about how it worked. And they had some questions about particular feature sets. Imagine my surprise, right? I'm going, wait a minute, have you used our product before? Does your company have you use our product? Like, that's so bizarre that you're so familiar with it. And guess what this person did? This is amazing to me. And they go, oh, no, my company doesn't use it. I was really excited for this interview. I've been following the company for a long time. And you have to remember, this company was one of the best places to work. We hosted happy hours at our really cool downtown office location. Like it was one of those companies where it was pretty exciting to be a team member there. So anyways, this candidate says to me, well, I emailed your support team and I let them know that I had an interview and I asked them if they could set me up a demo account because I really wanted to make sure I had the chance to see and use the product before my interview. Y'all, I was stunned. I was like, you did what? And they were like, yeah. So I got in there. I set up a we called them like their missions. We called them missions, but they were surveys. And this person was like, oh yeah, I went in, I created one, and then I entered some data so I could see some reports. So it's really cool, and this part was cool, and this part was cool. I have some feedback and questions on this area. And I was like, holy initiative, holy commitment. How cool is that? And that clearly stuck with me all these years. That was a really exceptional story where someone, like, they didn't just tell me they were excited about the role, they showed me. They were in it. They had messed around in there. They already had a point of view. Like, this was amazing. So, especially in a market like this one where there is lots of competition, try to take a moment and see if there is a way that you could go the extra mile. Some easy ways you might be able to do that would be, go in and create a demo account, or actually create an account if it is a publicly available tool. Maybe you go do some additional company research so that you're a little bit more familiar with what's going on with the company. Or maybe you set up a coffee date with someone who works at the company just so you can get a little intel on what's going on there, why they're hiring for this role. But I'll tell you, going that extra mile really changed the dynamic of that interview. And here's the unfortunate thing is I remember that so clearly, but I don't remember if I ended up hiring that person. Maybe one of these days that person will listen and go, oh my God, that was me. So if you're out there listening, let me know where that ended up going and just refresh my memory, because that interview sticks with me more than where that conversation ended up going. As always, if you feel like you could use some one-on-one support in your job search, please reach out. I'd love to chat with you about my Sprint program. It is for end-to-end support, everything from deciding on your application strategy and building out an effective resume in LinkedIn, all the way out to take-home assignment, mock interview prep, and of course, offer and negotiation. You can check out all of my programs at jesssherlock.com/apply. That's jesssherlock.com/apply, and you can book a call so we can chat. You can also connect with me on LinkedIn. Send me any questions or comments you have in a DM. I'd love to hear from you. And I'll see you next time on After the Cert.